Yeah.
Hi. So this is So welcome anybody that's watching this video. I've got the lovely Sarah Joanne Ashurst with me, and I wanted to create this video really to get somebody else's point of view about the transformation that the soul realignment work can offer. I've obviously talked about my transformation at the beginning of the week with this pre-launch of the soul activation program that I've put together. But I thought it would be good to also get somebody else's insight who's had this work, have had the work a few months ago now. So there's been a good period of time after the session, the initial session, where change and new choices have been made, and we can kind of talk about the transformation that Sarah has been going through. So that was the purpose of creating this little interview today, just to get somebody else's insight on this amazing work. So Sarah Joanne, welcome. So I'll just give a bit of information about Sarah Joanne. Is the lady that I worked with last year. I had the pleasure of meeting actually at a Kyle Gray convention, angel convention, and then I jumped onto her Angel Power Tarot course that she ran and that she still runs as well. So that's where I got to learn a little bit more again about using tarot cards, but also the angels, which I had absolutely no idea about. So Sarah Joanne runs that course, and it's an absolutely amazing course. So that's how I got to know Sarah Joanne. So hello, Sarah Joanne.
Hello.
Right. So thank you for joining me, and thank you for giving up some of your time just to give your insights on this amazing work. So first of all, can I just ask you, what drew you to having the reading done?
I think because it was different, because I've been on this journey about 14 years now or so, and I've had lots and lots of readings in my life. Probably, nearly 100 or something ridiculous, a lot.
Wow.
I've never come across a reading like this, and the fact it was soul realignment, and I've always felt that I'm an old soul, and I know I've lived before and things like that. So I was like, oh wow, I've just got to. As soon as you started doing it, I thought I've just got to have this reading.
Yeah.
And then understanding about your blocks from past lives, and you'd already said that's what it was going to be, and everything. I was just like fascinated. I thought, yeah, I've just got to have this reading, and it's not like a reading I've ever had, to be honest.
No, I mean, yeah, they are quite different, and also, I guess with this kind of work as well, there is quite a lot of time invested with the research that I do in your Akashic record, and then obviously with the call as well. So you do get quite a lot of information for you to kind of reflect on afterwards, which is, I guess, invaluable, isn't it?
Well, yeah, and I've got a nearly 2-hour recording, and I was just listening to the recording just before this interview, and I still, can't believe how much info is in there. And it's from 12th of February I had it.
Right, okay.
And this is the 1st of June, so it's literally 4 months later.
Yeah, 4 month mark, which is what my soul activation program is like running at kind of 4 months. That was kind of the time frame that I was looking at. So yeah, that's amazing then. Fantastic. And what insights, what did you get from the reading that you found really valuable and really helpful?
The thing that I think I found most valuable out of everything was understanding myself, and it gave me real deep understanding myself. And I'm pretty self-aware, so I've done a lot of self-development, I've read a lot of self-books, I've done a lot of healing in my time. But the blocks and these implants and lots of words that you won't I don't understand, but things that have happened in my past lives have created patterns in this life, and sometimes I've never quite understood myself or understand why I feel like I do, or why I can't seem to heal and get over something. And it's really given me insight into that. So when I came away from the reading, I thought, wow, I really get myself now, and I really understand why. So for example, in one of my old lives, I had a constraint running, and I had lack running. So I always feel like I've never got enough, and I've always felt I never have enough money, or never enough love, or never enough whatever that is. And it doesn't seem to matter how much healing or how much work I've seemed to have done, and I have done a lot of self-healing on myself, I still seem to run that pattern. And you're not really aware of that until you have this reading, and you think, oh, I really swore then. But
that's okay.
I get it. I get why I'm doing that, because it's from a past life, and it's something karmic being running.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I just found things like that really, really interesting.
Yeah. So I mean, this work is definitely about making the client conscious of, first of all, who they are at soul level, so how you can align to your gifts and your soul group and the benefits of that. But the past patterns, like you say, the karmic patterns, once you've got a consciousness and an awareness of those, obviously the clearing work that happens in the 5th dimension in the Akashic record is like a door opener, but it does still require the client to consciously make or create new choices to move away from, like in your instance, the energy of lack. So whenever, like you say, you feel the energy of lack, first of all, you've got that consciousness and the understanding of where that's come from, but then you've also got that consciousness, well, actually, I can do something about that, because you're empowered, because you have the awareness to, well, what can I do to make me not feel lack then? I'll go and treat myself to a more expensive coffee, or it could be, or I'm going to buy some nice underwear, or something that's going to make you feel more special is going to allow you to move away from the feelings of lack. And that's something as simple as that is the new action that you would take in one instance to take from the energy of lack. So it is a great thing to be aware and have that consciousness.
And there's a number of things like that from the reading that I've become aware of, and in my past, I've to be honest, I didn't have a great childhood, and I didn't have a great past, and it's answered a lot of that, as in, well, that was meant to be. Do you know what I mean? And I was meant to go through that. So one of mine was I'm meant to be here to experience divine love, and both extremes of that. So to totally experience divine love and give divine love, but then also the opposites of that. And in my life, I've very much had the opposite of that. So that totally answered a lot for me. That I know I've never said I changed my past, because I wouldn't, and it wouldn't make me the healer I am today. And you confirmed that, I'm here to love and heal. That's my divine gift, or whatever. I can't remember what it was, but that's my purpose, and that's what I'm meant to do. So and you just confirmed things that I knew, but particularly from my past, and things that I've maybe done in the past that I've not understood myself why I've done them or run them. It's because of these past karmic patterns, and which really helped me accept and understand myself on a deeper level.
Yeah, and I think for some people that can be very affirming, and also I think some clients do feel that there's something wrong with them, and when they do have that clarity that actually there isn't, it is a result of a past choice that you've done, and it's a consequence of that, but there isn't anything wrong with you, and you can now change it in this life. So it is, it is amazing to have that knowledge. So do you find that you are making more conscious choices now to create like new change and new circumstances now you've had the reading?
Yeah, since the reading, I definitely feel more empowered, and like I have more choices. And I know that sounds mad, but it's because I understand what my limitations are and why I've had these so-called limitations in my own mind. So yeah, I definitely have more choices within a week of, and some of it was not I had a lot linked to my throat and not being visible and not speaking my truth and things like that. And the week after, I got invited on a radio show, and I was like blown away. And I just, you could call that coincidence, but to me it just wasn't. It was like you'd cleared all this stuff, and then this guy randomly gets a reading off me on my free readings, and then next minute he's asking me to go on his radio show, and I was like, oh my god. talk about stepping into your own power and being visible, and
speaking your authentic truth.
Speaking my truth, not having lack, not having constraint. And all that. So that's happened. And one of the other things that I was running, or I have done throughout my life, is putting up with abuse. So this was in my past lives, but I've put up with abuse in this life. And not many people will know, but up until recently, I've still had a little part-time job, and I've let go of that since. And somebody there was not very nice, to be honest, and not very. And I basically stood up in my own power, and I thought, no, I'm not. I'm just not doing that anymore. So I walked away from that. I'm not putting up with things that I did maybe before, but not in a get lost way or anything like that. Just in an empowering way, as in, no, I'm not allowing that to happen in my life. I'm not allowing, somebody to be abusive to me, or not that nice. So that's really interesting. The other thing is you confirmed that I'd had a lot of lives, which I knew. But that really helped. And also I've always felt that I'm meant to reach a lot of people. And I've been shown that in meditation and been told that by other people, but never quite believed it. And then it was there in my soul pattern, and I was like, oh wow. Yeah, so I think I've really stepped into that more and thought, right, I'm owning this.
Yes.
I will reach those people through my fairy work, and I will do this. And I'm really believing that, where you probably, people who watch me or follow me, might think, oh God, I can't believe you're saying that, because I thought we were always confident or whatever. But
I know,
because we're here doing live readings, or we're doing things visibly online, doesn't mean we don't have those lack of confidence or feelings about ourselves, just like everybody else does who's watching.
Yeah,
so for me, it's been a massive help of, right, I'm stepping into my own power, and I'm much more thinking about me in a lot of ways, which I don't mean in a selfish way.
No, but that's good.
About what I need, because all my life I've put everybody else before me.
Yeah, which is also a dysfunctional aspect of your divine gifts, kind of not having appropriate boundaries, and basically allowing people to kind of take from you and not having that equal exchange. So now you're very much more mindful of that, which is only going to align you more to your vital force energy. So that just creates more abundance. So it's like an ongoing cycle of goodness, really, which is.
I mean, I've had more abundance since, but I think that's because consciously I'm not focusing on lack, and I'm using a lot more words and consciousness to bring in more, and that I deserve more. So so I'm taking in more since as well, which is good. I was doing all right before, but I'm doing even better now, so that's good.
Fabulous. So you've kind of mentioned a couple of things in terms of some of the changes that you've gone through since the Soul Realignment. So you've done a radio show, you've stepped back from your old job, and you've obviously really stepping into your spiritual business, which you were running alongside anyway, but you've doing that kind of full time now.
Yeah.
Is there any other changes that you think have come about since the reading?
Yeah, probably. One of my you told me what star system I was from, and it's Sirius, I think. And one of my strengths is to just look at things and almost put your own stamp on things. So I'm not like an innovative, creative. Won't create things from scratch, but I tend to look at things and then put my own twist on it and just put my own stamp on it and create things. And I think it's given me the belief since that's okay, that's who I am, and that's okay. So I'm creating lots of things now, and sometimes I look at and think, well, there's loads of other things like that, like there's loads of people who do vision board workshops like me, and there's other people who do fairy courses, but they won't do them the way I do them.
Yeah, exactly.
People will come to me because of me. Do you know what I mean? So that's definitely helped me in creating what I'm creating since, and I've been doing a lot of work since, and so that's definitely helped me. And I think it sounds mad, but I've just sat and listened to the recording again, and just listening to it before this interview, I thought I'm going to listen to the rest of it now, just to remind yourself. And one thing as well that was really good, after the reading, you have like a 21-day clearing, which it's almost like a prayer. And I found that so powerful. It just,
powerful.
Yeah, I could feel the healing words. I could feel the shifting.
Yeah,
with it. And you know, I've had a lot of healing. I've done a lot of work on myself. So I'm a bit of an old tooth with regard to that. But I could feel this is really powerful work. So if you're thinking about it and you want to know a lot about yourself and the different aspects of yourself, it's brilliant. Yeah, it's really good. Yeah.
Fabulous.
You explain everything as well. So if you don't get it, like there's something it's a bit hard to get because you're like, oh wow. What's this implant thing?
Yeah, what is an implant? Yeah, well actually.
That's like for pill intake, it's not for
yeah. No, it can be. I can find physical negative implants, but they're usually etheric and they're normally running programs. So that's funny. And yeah, you're right. The 21-day clearing is like a standard thing that people do get after the session, and it's completely tailored to each client and in terms of what blocks they've had. And yeah, some clients do get, I mean, every client, every time they say it, will get an influx of vital force energy every time they do say it, but some clients do feel it as well, and they feel the shifts.
Yeah.
And that's just part of the healing process. So yeah, it is an amazing thing.
Sorry, I've just interrupted you there, but
that's okay.
I do feel different. I feel more of who I am, and I know that sounds mad because I was that person before, but I think I've just come to accept all those inner levels of who I am.
Yeah.
And thinking, well, why can't I heal this? Or I've worked on this for a long time, or whatever. It's almost brought a big acceptance about myself, and I really understand myself on a deeper level now.
Yeah.
I'd love to do it again at some point and just go to different lives, because there must be other different. Do you know what I mean?
There will be. I mean, yeah. See, the first session just reveals the first layer of blocks, which are probably the most prevalent, and I would say the ones that are probably the most blocking, especially if you have attaching souls. Obviously, because we want to move them on as well. Which most clients probably do have attaching souls. It's very, very common. So you can understand why that is probably the first lot of blocks that need to come up. But once you've done that and you've worked through those karmic patterns and you've got rid of those karmic patterns, then the next lot of blocks do start to rise, because as you say, we've lived so many lifetimes. If we were to receive all our blocks and restrictions in one go, we wouldn't survive. We would go into such a big healing crisis. We just couldn't handle it. So it has to be, it's like the peeling of the onion. It has to be a slow, gradual thing. But, I've lived 444 incarnations. I think I don't know if you were more than me, Sarah.
No, I was a bit less than you, 436.
Yeah, so yeah, it's a fair amount of negative choices that we've probably made.
Oh, I've cursed people and all sorts.
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, we were, we have been a rum lot, and we've all lived obviously very negative lifetimes and very positive, because we have to do negative and it's all about polarity. We have to, as a soul, we have to experience the whole shebang, as it were. So, but we're in a very conscious time, a very spiritually conscious time, and this is just amazing work that is now helping people ascend quicker, because practitioners like me are able to clear some of the old stuff. So why would you recommend me then, and recommend other people to jump on this program or just get an individual session with me? Why would you recommend my services?
Because I don't know another reading like this, so I would definitely, if you're spiritually aware and want to understand yourself more spiritually, you'd be daft just not to do it, because there's no other reading that can answer things like this, and the information you get is just, it's unbelievable, the information you get. You think like 2 hours of information.
I know.
Planet you see from, what your divine purpose is, what your divine gifts are, how consciously connected you are, whether you have this certain energy. And then you've got all these past life focuses and these blocks that you've been running, and she tells you the story of what happened in that life. And then, you know, basically then you think, oh, that's why I'm like this, and that's why I think like this, and that's why I do these stupid things in this life.
Yeah.
And, oh, I really, really get it. So it's like a light bulb moment, and it's it's really shifting, it's really powerful. So if you really want to understand yourself and move on to the next level, which I feel it's done for me, then I think, yeah, you've got to do it. And yeah, you know, it is an investment, but that investment is in yourself, isn't it?
Yeah.
Most of us who are watching this are, you know, we're healers, or we're giving in this world, and you can only keep giving and giving well if you understand more about yourself and clear your own stuff.
Yeah.
So it's been a big clearing, and I'm continually on my healing journey, and always will be.
Yeah.
But this has been a big shift for me. So yeah, it's really worth it. And you're just brilliant. It's really good. It's really good. So just do it. Just do it.
Oh, fantastic.
And she's not paid me to do this, by the way. I've been, you know, she's really not. It's just, it is just amazing. And you know, I've got 2 hours here to listen to again anytime I want to. Get back into myself and understand, you know, and remind myself of my purpose and my divine gifts.
Yeah.
It's really empowering. It
is empowering, and it's empowering actually also that side when you actually start to understand, you know, the people that you're with as well, and you kind of have that insight of a soul realignment, you know, information session about your children and like your partners and stuff. That's very useful.
I want to have one about my husband at some point, because I know I've got a past life with him, you see. And I think I've got links with my kids. I know I've got one with my sister.
Well, you will, yeah, you will definitely have links with your children, because vibrationally they come into parents that are vibrationally matched. But yeah, you will have past links with them, absolutely. Yeah.
You could just keep going with it, couldn't you? And have different readings.
Oh, you could, absolutely. You absolutely could keep going with it.
A treat for me then later on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lovely.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much for joining me, Sarah Joanne. And yeah, I'm so pleased that you found the reading so enlightening and insightful for you, but also that it's created so much change and opportunity. And obviously you're still on your journey for, you know, the results that you can kind of bring and you will continually bring. But I'm so glad that you've seen, you know, so much already in 4 months. So that's amazing. So
massive. It's given me a lot of more self-belief.
Yeah, which is a huge thing, especially if you want to progress with your spiritual business. Having self-belief is massive. Yeah.
So yeah, it's been a pleasure talking to you. I've loved being on it.
Yeah. Oh, lovely, and thank you for joining me.
You're welcome, and just go do it, guys. If you're thinking about it, do it, 'cause it's well worth it. Honestly, it's like nothing you've experienced before. So
thank you.
Thanks, Marina.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.